Hi, hello, and welcome to episode 15 of the Knitting Esquire, a YouTube channel all about my knitting and crafting adventures. My name is Candace, and I live in the Orlando area with my husband and our two boys. This is a packed episode with some finished objects, a few works in progress, and a brand new cast on that I am so excited to share with all of you. And some advice will be sought after today. So, without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and dive right in? You can find me over on Instagram as Candace Sue ESQ Knits and on Ravelry as the Knitting ESQ. I will have all of the details regarding every project that I talk about listed below in the description box with a link to the Ravelry page for every project. I'm going to try and format this video a little bit different. I'm hoping to put all of the project information as I'm talking about it and just kind of leave it somewhere over in this general vicinity on the screen for you. Just one of the feedbacks that I had heard from a viewer. And so I thought I would give that a try this time and see how that goes. I will also make sure to put all of the details regarding any of the makers and dyers that I talk about in today's episode, also in the description box, as always, listed below. So let's scoot right in to finished objects. I have two finished objects to talk about today. One of them I have with me, the other one has already been gifted, and I did talk about it briefly and mentioned that it would probably be gifted by the time I was able to share it with you in episode 14. But I will start with that pair. Let's just go there. I knit a pair of vanilla socks, surprise, surprise, on my US size 1 Addy 2.25 millimeter turbo rocket needles. And I did that using this beautiful white creamy with some nice beautiful blue speckled yarn from Big Sky Yarn Co., which is this lovely maker. I've actually never knit with this yarn before, so I was really excited to try it out. It actually came in one of my yarn clubs from maybe a year or two ago. This one doesn't have a date on it, but it was part of the wool and honey mystery sock yarn boxes that I was subscribed to, and their yarn was based off of like places in Michigan or things ascribed to Michigan. And so I hadn't knit with this yarn yet, and so I was excited to try it out, and I thought that the colors would be lovely for the person that I was gifting it for. So I did my standard size small 56 stitch cast on with a 20 round 1x1 rib. For the cuff, I did the standard 60 round for the legs, and then I actually just matched. I didn't ask her what size shoes she wore because I didn't want her to know what I was doing because she knows that I am a knitter. And that I love to knit socks. So I think she would have put two and two together. So I just gauged that my foot size is generally an average woman's foot size. I wear a size 9, sometimes 9.5, so maybe a little bit bigger. But with the yarn, it does some great things where it stretches and conforms to whatever it's wrapped around. And so I figured that if I went with my size, it would probably be okay. And it was. So that was successful. Um, the yarn colorway is called Midwinter Thaw, and this is on their Star Sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. And I should already have a picture somewhere over in this area for you to see the finished object. But I started these socks on August 16th and finished them on August 23rd. And That made pair number 23 for 24 and 2024, and it made pair number 11 for summer sack camp. So those were gifted last week, the beginning of last week. Yes, that sounds right. Her birthday was on the 25th, so yeah, I did gift them last week, and she just loves them. So I'm so happy um, to do that. So that is finished object number 1. And finished object number 2 is this lovely pair of vanilla socks. Do, 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 do. I'm not even sure that I shared these with you yet, cast on or not. So these are just so lovely. Look at the speckles in this. Um, this is a vanilla sock, same setup as the last one, 20 round 1x1 rib, 60 rounds for the leg, standard slip stitch heel, and my standard, I usually go 50 rounds before I start the toe decrease, and these fit snug and perfectly. This yarn, oh, that's also knit on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, my Addy Turbo Rockets, which are getting harder and harder to find, so I keep hoarding them. You can never have enough needles, right? Um, this is, I have no idea how to say the name of it, but it's Aracunia Yarns. This is the label. And it's their Huasco sock, which is a hand-painted superwash wool blend. It's a 75% superwash wool and a 25% polyamide blend here. So you get that same feeling as the nylon with the polyamide. The colorway is called Scarlet Banded Barrett or number 1032. And I just thought, not only do these look like bright and cheery, almost like a bumblebee, they feel very autumnal. And after I knit the first sock and then I knit the second sock, one is a little bit darker and more speckled, which is, I mean, I'm fine with it. I think it looks fun and that's great. But I certainly wasn't expecting that on the same skein of yarn, but it is hand painted. So you do get those variations, which is, all about me being a handmade maker. So I love these. They bring me so much joy, and I'm really happy that I finally decided. I think this yarn has been in my stash for a few years now, so I was glad to do a little stash diving. I started these on August 23rd and I finished them on August 31st, which was my final pair of socks that I completed for summer sock camp this year. So, totaling it up, this makes pair number 24 for 24 and 24. So I've done it. I have met my goal, and now that just means anything that I do over, I'm gonna have to beat next year. So there's that going for me. Um, my goal will be 25 in 2025 next year. Obviously, I should hopefully make that, but I have definitely put my nose to the grindstone for summer sock camp because this also made pair number 12 for summer sock camp. So I completed 12 pairs of socks for summer sock camp. And if I am crafty enough here, I will do a nice little grid with all 12 pairs for you to show those off. Most of them are in this pile, probably towards the top, and I could have pulled them out, but this beautiful picture will suffice. Um, so yes, I was happy to finish these up and meet the deadline for summer sock camp, and that also finished up, I believe, all of my finished objects for August. I completed 4 pairs of socks. So I made my Christmas time vanilla socks with the Mama Jess yarn. I made my Rictus Sempra vanilla socks from Freckled Whimsy. I did the birthday socks that I gifted, and this last pair, which I'm calling my autumnal vanilla socks. And so I made 4 pairs of socks in the month of August, and that is basically all I got done for knitting. So that was my August stats in a nutshell, and wrapping up all of the finished objects that I have for you on this episode. So why don't we just go ahead and jump on over to works in progress, because I've got some exciting stuff happening. I will start with the whip that had been on my needles before. Um, I got it. That's being stored in this lovely, lovely bag. I love it so much. It is made by Robin Z Nest Knit, and she was doing a collaboration with Mama Jess. And so eventually my yarn from Mama Jess should be here soon. I think I saw that it had shipped. And it's very um September, autumnal, fall, orchard. I'm so excited. And so I had to get the bag. This is just her sock size bag, and it has these beautiful little stars on the inside. And it's a drawstring. Maybe. There you go. And it came with these cute little stitch markers. Not the ones that I've been using. But it came with like a black cat and some small rings, which are my favorite type of ring stitch markers, are the little ones that go on your sock needles. So that was a surprise I was not expecting. Um, so I have my Whomping Willow socks in here, and I do believe I talked about them in the last episode, but I had put them on hold so I could knit the birthday socks, and then I ended up starting a smaller pair because I'm knitting the Whomping Willow socks as a gift for somebody with big feet, and it's taking forever. So, sock number 1 is done, and I love them. They're great. They look very long in the feet. I think these are going to be way too big. I think I knit too many, even though I followed. That's so big. I put my sock ruler in there. I don't know if I like that sock ruler. Anyway, I'll see. Hopefully they fit. If not, I'll give them to somebody with bigger feet. Um, uh, but here I am on sock number 2, and I just started the toe decrease this morning. So these will be done this afternoon, and I can cast on a new pair of socks while the boys have their football practice this evening. One has football, one has soccer at different places, so that'll be fun. But I'm just eyeing it over here. I have already picked out the next skein of yarn that I want to use for my next cast on, because I'm just feeling all of the Halloween vibes right now, and I want like a dark, moody, striped sock on the needles. So, got to get that started because we have Beetlejuice tomorrow, so I need some sock knitting for Beetlejuice. And on Sunday, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers first home game of the season. I'm so excited that football is back. We have football to watch tonight and tomorrow and Sunday, and knitting, and it sounds so lovely and exciting. But we have to drive to Tampa, which is about an hour and a half in good traffic. And that's an hour and a half of knitting time I get there and back. So I need socks on the needles for that. So whip number 1, almost done. Cannot wait for them to be a finished object. And I'll share those with you next week. Next episode, next week. Maybe next week. Next episode for sure, whenever that happens to be. Um, it is a busy season in life for me right now. The boys are back in school, and work is busy, which is, I mean, always. But then, we signed up for those Disney passes, so we've been using them for golfing. I mean, we've gone to Disney twice, which is great. It's been quite busy, and with the holiday weekend last weekend, we couldn't go, but didn't want to go. But my husband and I have decided that we should be golfers again. And so we have been using our sports pass to go golfing every day of the weekend um, at the Disney golf course, which has been fun and fantastic. And we are just loving it. So that has been taking up some time, some good time. I don't know where that came from. So enjoy, enjoy that little tangent. Um, let's talk about project number two, which is also a new cast on. That's gonna bug me. So let me just move that out of the way. Um, I had decided that, I was knitting that My Little Pony Advent, and I'll get back to doing the Ambo O'Brien pattern as I go. But I also was just, I love the yarn and I wanted to use it. And I also think I have a third project that I want to make out of it after this. So I've got these things going and I was like, okay, I'll just get started on it. So I have cast on a Cozy Memories blanket by Shelley DuPont of Polka Dot Creek. I think that's Shelley, yeah. Um, Now, for some reason, I was thinking of the Coziest Memory, which I know a lot of people knit, and I don't know why I went to Cozy Memories, but I did. So I think they're pretty similar. Um, Either way, I've got this little guy started, and I've done 3 of the colors so far, and I'm on the 4th. And so these are ones that I've already put into the wrap that I'm making. And so as I start doing the rest of them, I'll just add them, and I'm just pulling them randomly at this point. So whatever's in the bag that's been used will end up in here. And then I put the finished in a Ziploc baggie, and I intend to do some scrappy socks out of them. So I'm really looking forward to those as well. So 3 projects with 1 set of Advent type minis. They're 20 gram minis, and I'm getting 3 projects out of them, which is absolutely fantastic and bang for your buck. So there's some ideas for Advent season for you. You're welcome. Um, Not that they're original ideas. I've seen people do stuff like this. The Crazy Sock Lady is like notorious for doing stuff like that, and so I think some of my idea came from that. I was just kind of feeling a little bit guilty that this amazing yarn was sitting around, and I also wanted some socks on my feet with some sparkles in them, so that's what they'll become shortly. Um, but that is the Cozy Memories blanket. I am using US size 2 needles. Um, I started using my size 2 on the Chow and I hate them. I think I've talked about this previously. I'm using Chow for my Totally Tank top, and it's almost done, but they hurt my hands so bad. I did not know if I was going to be able to continue knitting last week because I don't know if they're just not long enough needles. I did the longest tips that I could. I hate them. I don't like them at all. So, um, I might just give those away. I hate them. Sorry, Chow. I hate your needles. I haven't found any needles from Chow that I like yet. And I've tried like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of their different types that they have, and they hurt my hands. So I need to give it up, but I keep wanting to try them. I'm hoping, I think I keep hoping that since I can't find my Addy Turbo Rockets very easily anymore, that Chow would be the replacement, and they just aren't, not for me. So I need to get over that. Anyway, um, I'm just doing those scrappy random. I'm loving it. And that is a very long-term project. I've already committed to that. So I would not expect to see it on every episode, but as I work on it, I will surely share it. I have a feeling that just that I know that the 31 skeins is not going to be enough to complete the whole blanket to be the size that I want it to be. But I have lots of other minis and advents to add to it. So I will start doing that here shortly as I want. I mean, I have some right now that I could add in. Um, I'm trying to keep it in control. So that is project number 2. And um, I guess what I will do is just instead of leaving this segment for the end, which I have been doing, I will add it here since it is now finally a work in progress. But this is my Florida State Fair shawl, and it is on the needles. I'm so excited that I finally cast it on, that the yarn came in. I told you I was not happy with the previous yarn color. The yarn is beautiful, so I will use it. Just not the color. It wasn't the color I wanted. So I ordered up some biscotti sock yarn by Yarn Cafe Creations because I love her base. It is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon base, I do believe. And it is like the perfect softness of sock yarn ever. Anyway, she does these grand skeins where she'll basically wind up the skein of, three or more skeins into a cake. So I've got this ginormous cake of yarn at this point in time, which is probably more than I needed, but I thought I would get it faster because every time I looked up just two skeins of the yarn on her website, it was showing that this colorway was um not available at the time. And so I just chose this to probably be the better option. Um, if you can hear that clicking, let me go take care of that. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Um, so it finally came in the mail. The yarn did, and I couldn't wait to cast it on, so that's what I've done. It is living in this. I love this bag. This is a Tula Pink bag. It's actually for quilting, but I love it so much. It's got dinosaurs on it, and I have the fabric that goes along with it, which is also like bright neon dinosaur fabric. It's amazing, and I'm going to make some bags out of it, but I haven't done that yet. So there sits my lowly sewing machine. I haven't touched in a while. I should feel guilty about it, but I'm not going to. Anyway, this is the Wild Swan. It is by Nim Teasdale and Annalise Mygard. I am knitting it on my US size 4 Coco Bolo knit pick needles. Knit picks needles. Yes. And this is where I'm at. So this is a 100% charted free pattern that I found on Ravelry. I had actually been eyeing this for years, and I finally just I know how to knit from charts. That doesn't bother me, but this chart is just, it's crazy. So since it's free, I will kind of, but like, look at that. And then when you get to the next section, which is like one of the bigger sections, um, that's how it is. And they do have broken down parts of the chart, so I can go and print them in separate pieces, which I probably will because my eyes are fine, but they're not that great. So, anyway, here we have maybe a beginning. And let's see if I can spread this out just enough. There. Oh, the lace work is just beautiful. And I am so excited for how this is going to turn out when it's all done. So it's there, it's getting there. I just hit the point where I have to make a decision. Do I want to start beading now, which is I'm a little less than halfway through, which also worries me because this doesn't seem like a very big shawl, but um, I think once you get some beads in there and the weight, it will help. Um, do I want to start beading now or wait until the next section? They do give you written points, and I would probably blow this up and just highlight so I don't forget to bead where it says that you should bead. Um, I'm almost thinking that more beads is better. It's fancier. I think I'm gonna do it. But if you don't, I'm gonna buy the beads tonight anyway. I've really just been making this my morning knitting. Before I go to work, I don't sleep very well anymore. I'm up at like 4 a.m. I get like 6 hours of sleep, and 6 hours on the dot, my brain is like, okay, it's time to, you've had enough. Don't have to set an alarm. Doesn't matter. Go to bed 9:30. I'm up at 3:30. Go to bed at 10. I'm up at 4. It just, that's what happens, I guess. Maybe when you get old, that's just what happens. Um, so I've been working on that as my morning knitting, and I'm loving it. It's just bringing me so much joy to work on it, and knowing that I get to submit it for the fair, it just makes me smile. Um, so now that I'm looking at this more, I'm wondering if iridescent beads is still the right choice, or do I go with like a light pink? Do I go with just white and make them a pearly white so that they kind of shimmer? What's your thoughts? I need to go pick out some beads. So let me know what you think. That's the advice I'm seeking today. Put them in the comments, and I will take this lovely progress keeper and move it right on down. So that way, the next time we talk about it, we know where I was and where I am. So that has been the bulk of my knitting work these past couple of weeks. 2 pairs of socks, almost done with a third, halfway, close to halfway through this project, and I started a blanket. So I guess, I mean, that's pretty good. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's not enough. That's what I got for you. That's my works in progress. So why don't we go on into some procurements? I have today just 2 items. Um, I said, "Oh, my Mama Jess yarn is should be here soon." It's here. It's apparently been a week. I think it came maybe on Tuesday. It's been a week. It doesn't feel like it's only been a 4-day week. It feels like it's been an 8-day week. I don't know what's going on. Um, this is Mama Jess's yarn. I picked it up on the day that it dropped. I think it sold out pretty quickly, or relatively quickly. I think she has this on pre-order right now. I haven't checked her website, so don't hold me to that. But if you like it, you should go and check and see. It's gorgeous. So this is called Harvest Haunts. Um, and the mini is called Lucky Penny. This is on her sock yarn, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and doesn't that scream fall all the way? And we're having some good color here. Other than this one's a little brighter than real life. That's probably, yeah, that's pretty accurate back here. But look at these fall colors. Oh my goodness. We are going to have some great socks out of these. And okay, so when you see this on the listing and she's like, hey, I'm doing a collaboration with Robin Z Knits or Robin Z Nest Knits. Um, yeah, right? So thank you, ladies. You're awesome. I am so happy to uh, support you small makers because this is just fantastic. I love it so much. And last but not least, it is my owl mail time for this is the August owl mail from Goosey Fibers. Of course, I did the big skein with the 5 minis, and it's called Kestrel, which I believe is a bird. She's kind of shifted away from the like specific owl type thing, and she's kind of gone more Mm, just what flies. Um, Not even just birds, because the last one was a moth, and I love the colorway. It was fantastic. But this is fall, and just I don't know. I love it. It almost looks iridescent-y the way that it's knit or the way that it's dyed. Oh, look at that. It's so perfect. And the minis just coordinate so well with each other. So this is the main colorway here in the mini, and then the rest of the minis that go with that. So thank you, ladies, for doing what you do because I love it. And that wraps up my procurements. Uh, I sprinkled in a little bit of life in there. So you've seen we're a bit busy, loving the Disney stuff. The boys are back in school. Um, I am just gearing up for some quality knitting and football time. This is my favorite time of the year. Like maybe not early fall because it still is quite warm in Florida, but like late fall is amazing. Which actually that has made me remember. I had decided that I'm going to participate in the pigskin party, which is a knit along, I guess make along. It's for crochet and knitting, and basically it's really fun. It's kind of like taking fantasy football should be fantasy football and knitting and putting it all into a make along with other makers. And so they put you on a team, and your team gets to earn points by completing projects, but you're also individually earning points by completing projects. And so like if your project has like 207 yards or 207 yards completed for the project, you get 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And they add up those points. So, touchdown is 7 points. So uh so the more you complete your projects, the more points you get, and then that puts you in um spots for drawings and all kinds of fun stuff. So I don't know if signups are still available, but if they are, you should go and join. It's really fun. It started yesterday since football kicked off yesterday, and I'm just looking forward to really diving in and participating in that knit along with a whole bunch of other makers. Um, so on top of that, Leah Loves to Knit is also hosting the Gilmore Girls Knit Along. I will put the details somewhere on the screen here because I can't remember it. I don't know that it's just Gilmore Girls Knit Along. It's like why is it not coming to me? Um it's Gilmore Girls themed. And so I also want to cast on some of the yarn that's back here. I have some self-striping uh Night Owl Fibers yarn that is Gilmore Girls themed. And I also have some Fangirl Fibers Gilmore Girls themed yarn. And so you get extra points for that. And I can combine the two make-alongs together. So I guess I just need to get busy because I want to knit Halloweeny type stuff. I want to knit Gilmore Girls stuff. I want to knit everything. Okay, now I'm just rambling. So those are the knit-alongs that I plan on partaking in for the remainder of the year. Advent season's coming up, so I am trying to like keep that in the back of my mind because I probably went overboard on those. I can't remember what I bought. And I guess I will just keep chugging along, and I hope that you are doing the same. So I will catch up with you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, get all of the notifications, and do all of the stuff that makes YouTube happy. Enjoy your crafting and making time, and I will catch up with you on the next episode. Bye.